I know what the data is. I know how to make you money. And we're going to have a partnership because you agreed to the rules of engagement.
So the big question is, what are the top agents doing to absolutely crush it in real estate, grow their teams, and add more transactions year over year while so many struggle? If you ever thought about this, you're not alone. No one has been able to get the answers until now.
We spent the last few years helping agents sell billions in real estate, rubbing shoulders with top producers, which got us thinking, how can we expose more people to these insights to help raise the standard in the whole real estate industry? We then realized that we could help bridge the gap by getting the secrets from the best of the best so that you can succeed. My name is Andrew Dunn.
And my name is Peter Michael. Welcome to Elite Agent Secrets.
Just a disclaimer for anyone listening, you have to check your state, because I know in some states then you're not allowed to work with them. There's some weird laws. So I know where Brad is, he's absolutely fine to do it. There is some other strategies around it, which we've shared in previous podcasts with Brad online.
So let me share with you what you're talking about, which is a very important point. Two things. Number one, my playbook. I'll share this with you in a second. But what you just mentioned, the attorneys cannot solicit. So in my phone, here's what you do to have a workaround. And again, always follow the law. But here's the workaround. By the way, I drove 65 miles an hour home in a 50 mile an hour zone. So a workaround. In other words, I broke the law unintentionally. Keep that between us. So here's the idea. When you are looking to collaborate with the attorney, they cannot solicit. But when you have their cell phone, and in my phone, I have special names next to each divorce attorney's cell phone. When the cell phone rings, it's like the bat phone. I got a client on the call. You don't have to now breach the barrier of solicitation because I use the cell phone. You know when that rings, I got your client. It's a very, very safe, legal way to get around, well, I can't call them. Well, you know, when you give a phone number to somebody and say, call that person, come on now. Life gets in the way. Distractions. I'll get to it later. I lost the phone number. No. We're doing it right now. That's how that workaround works. This is something that I talk about in the coaching classes. I refer to this as a playbook. It's not a notebook and it's not a workbook. A notebook, that's a no-no for me because a notebook brings me back to school. We already know that I didn't like school, so I don't want to call it a notebook because school to me wasn't so appealing. So I'm not a fan of calling it a notebook. I call it a playbook and not a workbook because I don't want to work. I kind of want to build a corporation and get paid for having fun. I want to get paid to play. So a workbook, to me, the word work stands for while others repeat crazy. I know crazy is spelled with a C. In some countries, I spell it with a K. So it's just reframing the word while others repeat crazy. No, it's not a workbook because that's what everybody else calls it. A playbook is nothing but a probability chart. When you take my courses, you're going to learn that we're going to put the data in here. The data helps us make decisions. So when I'm speaking with a real estate group and I ask them, how much of your production last month, last quarter, or last year came from a divorce attorney? And 99 times out of 100, it's zero. I then bring them into the statistics from my playbook, probability chart. Here's the data. 52% of first marriages fail in divorce. 52. Depending on which demographic you look at or which chart or which statistician generates the data, let's call it 50 for the sake of example. 61% of second marriages fail in divorce, and 73% of third marriages fail in divorce. The numbers are staggering. At that point, guess what? Stop. You're not good at this thing. Just date. But my point to you is this. If you take a look at his numbers, for the sake of this example, if Brad did, and I just left this up here for a coaching yesterday, if Brad did, and his team did 100 closings, he's creating his own portfolio of divorce clients. He easily can go to a divorce attorney and say, I have your clients. Maybe not today, but tomorrow. If the data is true in your town, your state, and it's 50% of first marriages fail in divorce, don't I have your clients? Isn't that the reason the divorce attorneys are on this list of financial beneficiaries? Heck yeah. But real estate attorneys or real estate professionals are taught to farm a territory. Buyers, sellers, expireds, FSBOs, sit by a desk and wait for an incoming call. Go to your sphere of influence. That's such a terrible comment. You're supposed to learn how to influence your sphere, not sphere of influence. I'll teach you that later. You got to be dyslexic when you read that. That's the standard operating procedure. And I'm saying, wait a second. That's a cup of water, which is the equivalent to a transaction. I don't want a cup of water. Take me to the waterfall. The divorce attorney is the waterfall. The transaction is what? A transaction. I got to keep chasing transaction. I don't chase anything. I'm not a beggar. I'm a builder. Take me to the waterfall. The divorce attorney, here's the numbers. The average divorce attorney has a pipeline, if you will, a book of business, if you will, a caseload between 50 and 60 clients annually. And they're seeing approximately 25 to 30% of their caseload complete their divorce annually. So let's use 40 for the sake of being conservative. If 30% of their caseload completes their divorce annually, that means they have 12 people that either had to refinance the ex off, sell the house, or buy a house. Just look at the data. You go to the probability chart. Data helps you make a decision, not emotion. How do I then coordinate and collaborate with my waterfall? In this particular scenario, a divorce attorney. It's nonstop. It's nonstop. Now, when you talk to real estate agents and I say to them, I want you to tell me how many you're going to close this year. And they pull up a number that is 5 or 10% greater than last year. Then I say, tell me how. Well, more referrals, more social media. No, I want to know specifically. The people that I train say my divorce attorney does an average of 13 divorces a year. And on average, 8 of those need to sell and buy. That's how I know what my numbers are, based on data, not emotion, not fear. Ooh, I wonder what the economy is going to do. I don't care. People are still going to get divorced. Unfortunately, fortunately, I base my numbers on data. I don't allow emotion to cloud my judgment. So then when you tie the probability chart with possibilities, because data tends to put a ceiling on people. Data. 52% of first marriages fail in divorce. Oh God, am I going to get divorced? Am I going to be one of those statistics, right? Not me. Well, listen, the number one reason for divorce is money. So if you don't get a financial education and put that to rest, you're going to argue about it. Let's talk about the number one reason marriages are pulled apart. Look at the data, but you marry that with possibility. Possibility is endless, limitless. So we're not defined by the data. We need to understand the data and how do we build a business based on the data. That's why it's important to know the numbers, not just to have the relationships. And I'm not knocking what Brad's doing by any means at all, but to me, it's a partnership. Partners like a marriage. Relationship, people get that construed. They're in networking groups. People call it a networking group. I just changed the E to an O. A not working group is where you go and you beg for business and you stand up and do your beggar speech. And let me read my resume. I'm awesome. I'm wonderful. My service is great. My company is this. Here's my card and here's the people I need to meet. And then I sit down. What the heck was that? I'm not a beggar. I'm a builder. So I'm looking at it very, very differently. I don't want a relationship. I want a partnership. And when I teach you the rules of engagement on what that partnership means to me, I make money and you make money. I'm not relying on hopium, which is a drug most people get addicted to. I hope he liked me. I hope he wanted to do business with me. I hope I liked my spiel. I hope I did a good job. I don't hope nothing. I know what the data is. I know how to make you money. And we're going to have a partnership because you agreed to the rules of engagement. That's something most people in any industry, but particularly in real estate, are not taught. Not taught. I'm sorry for the tangent. You got me all excited, Andrew.
I love this. I knew you were just going to go off on this, and you haven't disappointed. The thing is, right, is like this is what this is about. It's about exposing like the lies and the truths, like this, like not only in the strategies at work, but like everything that they are not getting given with regards. Like I always think about this in real estate. It's like, again, I love your statistics, and it's like statistically, biggest purchase someone will ever make is their home, right? And yet that just seems to be completely underappreciated, the fact that that is the case. It's like, oh no, they're buying a chocolate bar because everyone buys a home. And it's like, no. Like this is by far and away the most basically important financial decision they'll ever make in their life, right? And, it kind of escalates from that point. And I think, and this is the whole point of what we're doing here. I think they are real estate agents when they get their license are grossly inexperienced in like how to actually go out and deliver an exceptional experience. Now, you obviously had talents. I think it's worth touching on the fact that you went into mortgage, had no experience, and just by building relationships, partnerships, like you say, with these individuals, irrespective of the numbers, allowed you to become a dominant player in the space extremely quickly, right? And like I said, this is the whole point of what we're doing. It's like we want to help realtors, mortgage loan officers, brokers, brokerages, all these people get the education to actually be successful, because it's not their fault. I think the industry is not serving them at the highest level. And that is what our intention is. It's to bring all this information, bring people like yourself on to expose the truth, the strategies, like the divorce lawyers. It's one to many. Take me to the waterfall. I don't want a cup of water. Don't give me a fish. Teach me how to fish. We want to teach them how to fish. We want to show them the path to the waterfall. That is everything we could possibly do, right?
Hey, thanks for listening to this episode. Now, before you go, we're giving access to a private training we did where we revealed the top 3 niches to get listings today completely for free. So if you want access, you can go and download that training at eliteagentsecrets.com. We're regularly releasing new trainings, guides, and cheat sheets, so make sure to head over to eliteagentsecrets.com and sign up so you don't miss out.